attachments. I had a client once that didn't want to lose their attachment. And they came to me to see if they had an attachment. And I said, I don't know why you're asking me, because you know that you do have an attachment and you're having a relationship with your attachment. That might sound very bizarre. And they were having a relationship with their attachment. But for them, they felt so they had lack of confidence. They didn't want to go out. They had lots of anxiety. So having this attachment, this was, I suppose, alter ego in a way. It sort of sounds like, but it wasn't. But it was an attachment that, in a way, they could go out the house, they could do things, because this individual was talking to them all the time. And I sat with them, and I remember their doctor had spoken to me and sort of said, you know, could it be something else? And I went, they actually have an attachment, and this isn't a negative thing. They've actually invited this energy in to be with them, and it was a lovely relationship as such. But I hate using the word negative or positive, but it was also constricting of what they were doing or where they were going or what was happening. They were actually isolating themselves even more. So you can look at it depending on the individual, but majority of the time when I've come across someone who's got an attachment, it's been sort of an energy, a heavy, maybe negative energy that maybe needed to be shifted and moved on. So when I say attachment, so I've had this with a number of clients where, say for instance, someone dies. I've had this with energies of people who've maybe committed suicide, not all of them, but some, where they didn't want to leave Earth plane. Or I've had people that have committed certain crimes on planet Earth that didn't feel they want to go somewhere else, and they've hanged around for some time, and then they can pick up an energy that's very similar to them, or the person's very vulnerable, sensitive, maybe for anxiety or alcohol or drugs or whatever, that then I find the energy sort of moves into that other person, so sort of is by their side. So that I would suggest is a bit of a negative, because the person doesn't realise, or they do realise, feel like they're split personality, and it's an energy that wants to live life a little bit longer, sort of an energy that sort of wants to experience drinking alcohol again, or drugs or sex or something like that, and that attachment can hang around. So the human physical body isn't necessarily experiencing, it's the attachment that's connected to all the emotions and feelings, because as we know, when a soul leaves the physical vessel, it's not feeling or seeing or hearing anything like what you would when you're physically living. But with an attachment, when it is in your energy stream, it's tasting the alcohol again, it's smelling everything, it's feeding off, in a way, like a parasite. Sounds terrible, like a parasite. It's feeding off the experience that you're having. You know, if you're happy or sad, whatever, it's feeling into that experience. And I have had a client where literally through them having sexual experiences, this attachment was living these sexual experiences, and as them, usually they literally just, this personality has just changed, the physical human being, but it was attachment of an energy that a soul just didn't want to move over. It was earth plane for a little while. So they're not all negative as such, but yeah, you want to be living your own existence. Why would you want to be sort of someone freeloading off of you, sort of feeling into the energy stream, do you know? So yes, I mean, that's a great question, but that's what I've experienced. And sometimes I actually have had someone sitting in front of me, this actually did happen, where it looked like another head on their shoulder, and it was this other individual. It's like something out of Harry Potter, like, is it Voldemort or something like that? But I could see the head on the side, and it literally was an attachment of actually a family member that didn't want to